Welcome to MJ Hobby Corner. In this video, I want to update on the studio work that I'm doing for the spring. Welcome to MJ Hobby Corner. MJ here, and for this video I want to do a little update on what's going on with the studio. And this is one reason I haven't been uploading much these past couple of days. This work started on Friday, and today's Sunday, so I'm just taking a little time to do this video, and then work resumes Monday into Tuesday, hopefully ends on Tuesday. Now, what I do every spring, I like to do a little spring cleanup in the studio, rearrange a couple of things, but it's usually not that bad. Usually a day will cover it, maybe 2 days. This year, I decided to do a complete overhaul of the studio, and basically all the miniatures I had along the wall, the whole collection has been condensed and displayed here in this section that you see around me. And this is a little cubicle that I've made in a corner of a studio. This is actually where the studio began, where I got the idea of MJ Hobby Corner. So it only made sense to have the heart of what we do, the miniatures, in the corner where the studio began. I have a small section back there to populate with miniatures, and that's where Julie's Tao will probably live. So the cool thing is that everything is in one place. Now this only represents, and we're going to take a look at some of the miniatures that I have around here, but this only represents my 28mm collection, 15mm and 1/72 scale, which is actually growing. That's in the winter quarters. I have shelves that are being put up, and that's going to take care of that collection. That will be labeled and hopefully painted, because I'll be doing a lot of painting of miniatures once the studio opens. But that'll live in-house, and if I need to bring miniatures to the studio, I have my good old trays, little miniature trays where I put stuff on and just transport them back and forth. But the cool thing is that Julie or myself or whoever's going to be playing a war game with us can sit here in this little cubicle, and basically all the miniatures are around. You can create your army lists and whatever, and then put the minis on a tray and then transport them to the tables, which would be set up in the middle of the studio there, and then we start our game. So it is going to be a lot easier this time around, especially to find miniatures. I found a box of things of 1/72 scale cavalry that I didn't even know I had, you know, because things get buried underneath other things, you know, when you have a large collection, and then I don't realize, and it's like, holy crap. So all of that, I'm very glad that I did this, and all of that stuff, now I can take care of it. I cracked open that box, put those minis together yesterday, and now they're getting ready to be painted. So yeah, that's going to be a major thing, is painting minis very soon. I'm going to take a little break from scratch building, and again, I do these painting sort of spurts, you know, like in spurts, and I just do a bunch of minis, as many as I can at the same time. And yeah, that helps a lot. So we're going to take a look at the minis, and also a couple of the workbenches that are being cleaned, because I'm actually redoing my workbenches a little bit so that I have everything ready to go. Okay, so very quickly, I have the first shelf with quite a few minis on it. Here we start with Legion, and these are all the monsters for Legion, all the war beasts. And then we have Circle Ouroboros. This is from the game Hordes. For those of you that may not know, War Machine and Hordes were pretty popular, so I'm pretty sure most people know about it. Some trolls, which I have some other trolls that are coming here. This guy doesn't belong here, but he's chilling out, I guess. Then we have some Age of Sigmar stuff on this side as well. And then we continue with Malifaux on the next shelf. We have Malifaux right up probably here, and as you can see, there's some minis that need repair, but it stops right here, and it's arranged in faction order. And then we have some Frostgrave minis, the gnolls and the female wizards, which I have to paint because Julie's getting on my butt. She wants some female wizards, and I haven't painted those. So yeah, I have to get on with it. Rune Wars, which is a very big collection, and I really like these minis. They're a little bit big, scale-wise, but you know, they're such nice-looking minis and inexpensive. So I bought me a whole collection. I pretty much have all the factions, and I have to paint a few. But there's everything from undead, humans, you know, elves, just a lot of stuff. And you've probably seen a lot of these in our games. We use them a lot. And then down here we have Wrath of Kings with a variety of factions. I do have all the factions of Wrath of Kings. And then several factions for Drop Zone Commander. There's the Scourge and the Post-Human Republic, or PHR. Right down there. Okay. So, very interesting vehicles, and I really liked Drop Zone when it came out. So I have a few factions down there. And then over here, we have a lot of old 40K stuff. Stuff that's not painted yet or assembled. We have some Ratmen from Mantic. We also have Tekken, the last Tekken that I purchased, which need to be painted. And all those Tekken will then be part of my Wrath of Kings collection. And over here we have just a ton of D&D miniatures and D&D miniature conversions. Just a ton of them back there, and I use them as surrogate models, you know, to fill in some gaps in my game. Reaper miniatures, and my Reaper collection is going to be growing because I do have an order coming soon, and we will be unboxing it here and on Patreon. And then I have more War Machine stuff, Menoth, Kador, we have Signar, Crix, Conversion, and then we have the rest of Legion here, a lot of the troops and stuff, and some like random models like the Croc warriors that I really like, and very cool. It was a very cool collection. And then we turn around, we're going to have Julie's Tau here, which will take up that whole shelf. And then we have all these guys. Now, it's going to get a little darker here, so I do apologize. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit of the light. But this is all GW stuff, and I actually was amazed at how much GW stuff I have. A lot of this stuff I use for one-page rules, but I do have some Titanicus models, and just some orcs, also some Dark Angels that I painted with a tank that I repaired just recently. Down here I have some Ratmen. This is my only Ratmen collection that I have, but it's very cool, and I have a couple of conversions for them. And these are the old Plague Monks with some of the old, like, there's some Skelly Ratmen and just a bunch of stuff here. There's a lot of Age of Sigmar stuff on this shelf. Okay, then we have the Undead for Age of Sigmar. Very cool. Most of that stuff came out of the 2-player battle box, and I have the rest of them on another shelf that are being painted. I have a little bit of Chaos. Okay, and then we go down here to Seraphon. Now, I have a ton of Seraphon. This space here, I'm going to probably put quite a few more warriors. And then there's the big, the priest on the big reptile, which I love. Then I have some Dark Age Apocalypse. These are the Dragiri, And they continue down there. There's the Fire Dragiri down there and the Aircast over here with their leader Ivanka. And that's the old model there holding the fans, the bladed fans. They do have like a newer model where she's in a more dynamic pose. We have the Ice Dragiri, again, Dark Age Apocalypse. We have the Forsaken. We have, I forget what these guys are called, but they're basically murderous robots. And they use biofuels. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting faction for sure. We have the Brood from Dark Age. And that's about it. And then going down, there's my Deep War stuff, including one of my own sculptures, which I keep it with the Deep War stuff. Then I have some Necromunda, and everything else is 40K stuff, like real old 40K stuff from 3rd edition, all my Necron conversions, you know, just a lot of stuff. That's all 40K stuff. Then we have some D&D stuff down there as well. On this shelf, Gates of Antares, including my small collection of tanks. This is all Gates of Antares. This is the Concord. We have the Algarin. And these guys, which again, I forget because I'm terrible. And I will probably put it in a text. But I don't play these guys much, but they're pretty cool. Look, coming around the 40K stuff, the last of the shelves, there's some Mech Warrior stuff up there. Here we have some Oathmark Goblins. There's a big conversion there. And some GW stuff, including some old Lord of the Rings Warg Riders. And this shelf has mostly Mantic stuff. I have a lot of Mantic stuff. So, yeah, some Orcs, the Night Stalkers, we have the Abyssals over here, some of which I have to paint. And again, I apologize for the lighting. I know it's pretty bad. The Northern Alliance. This is all Vanguard, but some of it is just Mantic boxes of random things that I got. These are Julie's Basileans, along with the Sisters. Many of them have to be painted still, and I have some Knights in the back, mounted Knights. And then we have some War Games Atlantic stuff, the Halfling Army, we have yet to use, and some Warlord Skellies, and these guys were a nightmare to put together, but they are good-looking Skellies. Okay, and then moving down, we have more sci-fi Mantic stuff, including an old Eldar dude right there. I will be looking stuff up that I don't remember. But there's a lot of Mantic stuff here. And then we have the humans from Oathmark, quite a few of them. We have the Snake Men, quite a few of them, and I have to paint a few of them. Some of the tribal men from Ghost Archipelago, and my dwarves. We go down here, there's some Tyranids. Look at that. Some Tyranids and Tyranid conversions, and then we have Xenomorphs from Aliens. They're all back there. And then last but not least is my Uncharted Seas collection, including a couple of scratch-built ships that I have. Okay, and so that's that. That's it, Corner Crew. That's all I have for this update video. This is a reason why I haven't been uploading. The Reaper War game that is set up in the winter quarters, I will probably be beginning that tomorrow, Monday. I'm going to record some of that game, and then I'm going to be working here. So Monday and Tuesday are going to be, I'm going to be frantically working in here because I have the whole terrain wall to take apart tomorrow, and that's going to be a 2-day thing. So tomorrow I finish labeling all the collection, and then I start on that terrain wall, take everything apart, and then everything gets reorganized. There's a few shelves that are going up, and as soon as the Reaper Warlord game is over, that tiered board gets taken apart and it comes here to the studio where it's going to live for however long it lasts. And so don't miss that game. That game will be as part of MJ's solo wargaming, and I'm gonna be I thought I would have that game done by the weekend. It didn't happen because of this work, so I think I'm just gonna start it tomorrow, finish it off, and then the game hopefully will be up by Wednesday, which is kind of the day that I had in mind to release those videos. As soon as Julie comes on board with our 2-player games, then I can, you know, kind of rearrange that and see how my solo war games will probably be on Patreon mostly. Okay, so patrons have already seen an update of all this. I just wanted to update the YouTube channel now. Okay, once it's all done and there's stuff all over the floor here, looked like a bomb went off in the studio. Once all that stuff is done and picked up, Julie and I will probably be doing a little chat in here. It'll be MJ Hobby Talk with Julie, and you guys can see the finished studio. If you want to support us on Patreon, you can go there. That's where a lot of my unboxings will take place, and all of my, you know, bonus games and bonus materials, all that stuff is on Patreon. And then, of course, War Games Vault. Take a look at Scratch Builder Monthly, and hopefully I'll be done with April by the time April comes on, and that will be on the War Games Vault as soon as I finish it. I am currently writing that edition, okay, and that's going to be another big one. So thank you for your support, and I'll talk to you in the next video.